su bestia.
The northern region of Veracruz is facing a humanitarian crisis after heavy rains that began in the first week of October caused widespread flooding, river overflows, and landslides across multiple municipalities. The hardest hit areas include the cities and towns of Poza Rica, Álamo, and Tuxpan, where floodwaters rose high enough to force the evacuation of entire families. In Poza Rica, the overflow of the Casonas River flooded low-lying neighborhoods and main avenues. Photos and videos show streets waist-deep in water, cars being swept away, and homes filled with mud. Alamo was once again submerged in several areas, with reports of thousands of damaged homes and entire communities cut off by swollen rivers and streams. In Tuxpan, authorities reported a rapid rise in the local river level and, in riverside areas, severe overflows that swept away structures. A well-known restaurant even floated off and was carried downstream, highlighting the scale of the disaster. The convergence of several weather systems, low-pressure channels, remnants of tropical storms, and a monsoon trough explains the persistence and intensity of the rainfall that battered the Gulf region and northern Veracruz basin. Federal and state authorities have launched coordinated rescue and relief operations involving the National Guard, the Army, civil protection units, and local emergency brigades. As of the latest public reports, the national death toll from the rains has risen sharply, with dozens of victims in Veracruz. These figures continue to be updated as search operations progress. In addition to the casualties, hundreds, possibly thousands of people are living in temporary shelters. In Alamo and Poza Rica, many families are still waiting for basic assistance, such as clean water, food, and medicine. Many rural communities remain isolated due to blocked roads, landslides, and damaged bridges, making it difficult to deliver supplies or assess the full extent of the damage. Cleanup efforts are proving to be a major challenge. The mud and debris left behind have slowed the return to normal life and pose serious health risks, including water contamination, gastrointestinal illnesses, and the presence of dead animals. The local economy has suffered heavy losses. Businesses, workshops, markets, and small industries report property damage, lost inventory, and temporary closures, deepening the financial crisis for many families. Farmers and transporters along the Papantla-Poza Rica-Tuxpan corridor report damage to crops, transport routes, and packing facilities, disrupting the local supply chain. Residents have criticized what they see as the slow pace of official assistance and failures in the early warning systems. Many say that despite weather alerts, evacuation orders came too late. In several areas, civic groups and community organizations have stepped in, organizing food drives, cleanup efforts, and neighborhood-based rescue operations. Authorities have already begun assessing material losses, carrying out surveys to identify uninhabitable homes, damaged public infrastructure such as schools, health centers, and roads, and areas in urgent need of reconstruction. Power and water supplies have been intermittent in many neighborhoods. Restoring services depends on accessibility and on safety inspections for electrical hazards in flooded streets. The loss of cell service and internet coverage in affected zones has made communication and aid coordination difficult. Some towns went without signal for days. Reports from journalists and local agencies describe the presence of bodies in hard-to-reach areas and a growing stench of decay, raising public health concerns in impacted communities. Federal and state governments have announced reconstruction and aid programs for the affected zones. However, local organizations are calling for transparency in how resources are distributed and for faster implementation of relief efforts. Schools in several municipalities have suspended classes due to structural damage or because they are now being used as temporary shelters. The return to in-person learning will depend on safety inspections and sanitary conditions. Health services have had to adapt as well. Patients with chronic illnesses need follow-up care, and some local clinics are operating with limited resources or have relocated to alternative sites. Tourism along the coast and river areas has come to a halt. Beyond the physical damage, the disaster's aftermath and negative publicity will likely delay economic recovery for service providers. Security concerns have also surfaced. Local and international media report that criminal groups have taken advantage of the emergency to distribute aid in some areas, sparking debates over territorial control and the legitimacy of their actions. Volunteers and private companies have organized collection centers and cleanup brigades. Donations, both goods and money, have poured in, though distribution logistics remain a major challenge. The rainy season is still ongoing, and meteorological agencies continue to issue alerts for potential new storms. Authorities are urging residents to avoid high-risk areas until river levels stabilize. In the medium term, experts say mitigation measures will be crucial. River dredging and maintenance, relocating settlements in flood-prone zones, and improving urban drainage systems to reduce future vulnerability. The emotional toll is also significant. Community psychologists and psychosocial support teams have begun helping residents cope with the trauma of losing loved ones, homes, and livelihoods. Reconstruction will require funding, manpower, and coordination between multiple levels of government. For now, the priority remains saving lives, restoring essential services, and ensuring access to safe water and food. If you like, I can prepare a more detailed report on specific topics, such as public health, infrastructure, updated statistics, donation channels, or local volunteer efforts to help guide relief efforts. Just let me know what you prefer.